Shakespeare, Hamlet. The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Act 1. Scene 1. A guard platform of the castle. Enter Bernardo and Francisco, two sentinels. Who's there? Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Long live the king. Bernardo, he. You come most carefully upon your hour. 'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco. For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Have you had a quiet guard? Not a mouse stirring. Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, beat them, make haste. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. I think I hear them. Stand ho! Who is there? Friends to this ground, and liegemen to the Dane. Give you good night. Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who had relieved you? Bernardo had my place. Give you good night, acceded Francisco. Hola, Bernardo. Say, what is Horatio there? A piece of him. Welcome, Horatio, welcome, good Marcellus. What has this thing appeared again tonight? I have seen nothing. Horatio says, 'Tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight twice in a verse, and therefore I have entreated him alone with us to watch the minute of the night, that if again the apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it. Tush, tush, 'twill not appear. Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, that are so fortified against our story, what we have tonight seen. Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this. Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course till that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then bidding one. Enter Ghost. Peace. Break thee off. Look where it comes again. In the same figure, like the king's dead. Though all the scholars speak to with Horatio, looks are not like the king. Mark it, Horatio. Most like it heralds me with fear and wonder. It would be spoke to. Speak to it, Horatio. What art thou that usurp this time of night, together with their fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes smash? By heaven, I charge thee speak. It is offended. See it stalks away. Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak. Exit Ghost. This gone and will not answer. How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this same thing? Is not this something more than fantasy? What thinks you own it? Before my God, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes. It is not like the king, as thou art to thyself, such was the very armour we had on, when we the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he owns, when in an angry pall he smote the slatted pollocks on the eyes. 'Tis strange. Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour. With mortal stalk how had he gone by our watch? In what particular thought to walk I know not, but in the growth and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Good now. Sit down and tell me he that knows. Why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mud for implements of war, and why such impressive shipwrights, whose sole task does not divide the Sunday from the week? What might be taught that this sweety haste doth make the night joint laborer with the day? Who isn't take can inform me. That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by 14 broths of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most immolate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay these 14 broths, who by a sealed compact were ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit, with his life, all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror, against the which and moisty competent was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of 14 broths. Had he been vanquisher as by the same command and carriage of the article designed, he spoke to Hamlet, now Sir young 14 broths of unimproved metal hard and full, hath in the Scots of Norway here and there shocked off a list of lawless resolutes for food and diet to some enterprise that had a stomachache in it, which is no other as it doth will appear unto the state, but to recover of us by strong hand and terms compulsory those fossiled lands, so by his father lost, and this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparation. The source of this our watch and the chef had, of this postate and ramage in the land. I think it be no other but and so, well may it so that this porterous figure come armed, though our watch so like the king. That was and as the question of this was. A mode it is to trouble the mind eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little era the mightiest Julius fell. The grave stood tenantless and sheeted dread, did squawk and gibber in the Roman street. As thus, with trains of fire and dews of blood, disaster in the sun and the moist star, upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even the like precursor of feared events as the harbingers proceeding still the flayed and prologue to the omen coming on, have happened and altogether demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen.